What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 88 of the Bristol Rovers Career Mode series. And we're going to start things off by going into a Barclays Premier League game against Newcastle United. But before we start any of that, just want to thank you guys for the support you gave on the last episode. If we can do the same again, that would be absolutely awesome. Let's try and hit 40 likes consecutively on these episodes. It would just mean the world to me because it just shows that you guys really do love this series, and I just want to try and get to the Champions League. I will be doing 4 games per episode very soon now, because I know that is probably something that you're more willing to see, more games per episode. I don't want to make the episodes too long, but I don't want to make them too short at the same time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be putting in 4 games in per episode. So hopefully you guys do enjoy that. But we start things off in this game. Mason Bennett finding John Taylor. No one's going to catch up with him, as you do know. We fake shot and we try and fool the defender here, and we do so. And we cross it into the box, and who is on the end of that? It's Lazaro to get his first goal for Bristol Rovers, and unbelievably, it's from a header. I just couldn't believe it. I didn't think he was an aerial threat, but according to EA, in FIFA 14, everyone is an aerial threat. And that is something that I really do hope they fix in FIFA 15, because it's just seriously broken and it's too easy to score. And that was our first chance in the game, and we make it 1-0 in the 10th minute. Lazaro getting his debut goal for the club, and good work from him. But unfortunately, Newcastle did have quite a lot of pressure on us, and you can see here, just trying to get away the ball, and it's just unbelievably lucky that it hits the post. Kabai's finesse shot there, that could have easily gone into the back of the net, but from this corner, they get another chance here, but we manage to clear it. I think that was with Valsvik, and we get it up all the way to Mason Bennett. Mason Bennett turns around and finds the run of Lazaro. Lazaro just carries on going, sprinting through, and has a shot and puts it into the back of the net, and makes it 2-0 to get his second goal in the game, and his second goal in the Barclays Premier League. He's doing wonders so far for us, and he's already up to 75 rated player, and I do believe he is our highest rated player in the squad at this moment in time, which is absolutely fantastic. And I may make him our captain. I'm not 100% sure. I think I have Ryan Brunt as the captain at the moment, so I don't think I will be taking Ryan Brunt out of the captain spot. Maybe he'll be the vice captain, I don't know, but I think John Joe O'Toole already has that spot taken, of course, because he is a legend at this club. Those 2 players are really, among others at the club, that have been here since the beginning, and we make it 2-0 in this match. But Newcastle weren't out of things whatsoever, and that was a really good tackle there from Belek, and they were putting a lot of pressure on into the second half, and it was getting very, very hard to try and defend against the pressure. But right here, we get a goal kick, and we just pass it around, because that is something that you really got to do in career mode. You just got to get a feel for the ball and start a counter-attack, and right here we do so indeed, finding the run of Ryan Brunt, and that is just the worst touch in the world. But Vertonghen passes it back, and it's, again, I just don't understand why goalkeepers don't just clear it. But again, we score from a goalkeeping error. How many times in this series has that happened, where the goalkeeper just decides, yeah, I'm going to take on every single player? We've seen it before, where the goalkeeper actually went all the way to the halfway line, and he just kept hold of the ball all the way to the halfway line, dribbling past all my players, and that would have been another example of that there. Have no idea what is wrong with the AI this year, but for some reason, they just, sometimes they're headless chickens, and they just decide they want to run around and try and score a goal. But of course, the goalkeeper's not going to do that, and we win the game 3-0. An emphatic result, beating Newcastle here, 3-0. Hopefully we can do that later on in the episode when we do face them again in the Capital One Cup, but we'll have to wait and see. But it's another dominant display by Bristol Rovers. You can see we had 6 shots and 6 on target. We scored 3 goals, and it was just absolutely fantastic. Valsvik was just incredible in that match. What a signing he's been so far. At the centre-back position, he is just a rock. I knew he would be, and that's exactly why I did get him on a pre-contract, snapping him up from, I think it was his Danish club, or some club in Denmark, I do believe it was. But anyway, we're going into the next match in this episode, and it will be against Manchester City, and you will have a look at the league table in a minute, and you can see that we are in 6th position on 9 points. Manchester City are above us on 10 points, and they are in 4th position. You can see Manchester City don't have the most solid of teams. I mean, you can see there they got Mika Richards, they got Quartes, Chiellini. They've got quite a few old players, and I did exploit that in this match. As in the 5th minute here, we get on the ball with John Taylor. I knew that they had a lack of pace in their team, so I went inside. But unfortunately, I keep forgetting he's a right-footed player on the right mid, so I need to cross with him instead of using his left foot, because his left foot is very bad. as he has 2-star weak foot, so I don't expect him to score too many goals with his left foot, and as you can see there, it was a bad finish or a bad attempt from him. But into the 45th minute, we got another chance here as Bellet did a 1-2 with Ryan Brunt, and somehow we managed to score and make it 1-0. I do not know how Bellet managed to sneak that past the goalkeeper there, Roy Patricio, but nevertheless, we make it 1-0 very late on into the first half, and it's a decent goal really by Bellet. I wouldn't really expect him to be getting into that position, but he is doing a lot better than Joe Widdowson at the moment. He's getting into the first team a lot more often, and you'll see by the halftime stats that was literally our only shot on target. We scored very late on into injury time in the first half, in the 48th minute. You can see there, that was our only shot on target, and it was Bellet to tuck it into the back of the net and make it 1-0. And to be honest with you, Manchester City didn't create that much whatsoever, apart from this long shot here, which did trouble George Long in the net. I don't know why he parried that. He really should have caught that, or I don't know. He shouldn't have parried it, that's for sure. And it just shows that we really do need to get a different backup keeper, or we just need to wait for him to improve a little bit more, because George Long is still only 23, so he's got a lot of room for growth. But you can see there that we do win the game 1-0 thanks to Belek's goal, and Belek has been in fine form. He's an exciting prospect, young talent that we picked up on a free agent, and he's been the star man this season. I sent him out on loan last season, and he's been fantastic since he's come back from his loan spell that he did take in last season, and I think that loan spell did boost his potential a little bit, and that is the reason why he's been playing so fantastically. 72 overall currently, only 19 years old, and he's rapid as well. You'd expect that from Cameroonian. He's a quick player, you could say. But we go into the final match of this episode. There is only going to be 3 games in this episode, but if you do want another episode up tomorrow, smash the like button, guys. If we can get over 40 likes, that would be greatly appreciated. You can see the lineup here as we are in the Capital One Cup. I've picked a little bit of a weaker lineup. George Long would be starting in this match, even if Robert Lainton wasn't injured, because George Long is my backup keeper, of course, but he is going to be playing every single game for 2 months from now on, because of course Robert Lainton did get injured in the last episode. If you did miss it, I do recommend going and checking out last episode. I'll leave a link in the description, because it was a really big episode for us and we lost our star keeper. But right here, we start things off in the 29th minute. Dongu goes through and he gets taken out. That is a penalty every day of the week. We get a penalty here, as I think that was Stephen Taylor who takes out Dongu, and you guys have been telling me to call him Dongu, so that is what I'm going to be doing, and I won't be calling him Shafak anymore, as it's a little bit easier to say. It rolls off the tongue more easily, I guess you could say. But we get a penalty here, and I was going to give it to Robert Hall, but then I was like, you know what, Ryan Brunt hasn't scored in a while, let's give it to him. He's got 70 penalties, which is the best in this team. But of course I am playing a weaker team, so you wouldn't expect everyone to have decent penalties, but that's something we do need to improve on, and I've sent my scouts out to go and find a free kick specialist, a penalty taker specialist, and someone that's just really good at set pieces basically, and a dead ball specialist, you could say. And hopefully our scouts will go out. The Global Transfer Network better do some work for me, because I need to find a dead ball specialist for sure, because I don't have one. Ryan Brunt is pretty much my only penalty taker at the moment, because he's got the best penalties in this team, although it was a weaker team because we are playing in a cup match, and I do like to give chances to other players, you know, fringe players that I wouldn't normally give chances to. But right here, oh my god, like just in the last game, they were putting so much pressure on, and George Long really should have saved that. I mean, I'm noticing something about his handling, and that he parries a lot of shots, and that is going to be a real problem. He's got good diving and reflexes, but to be honest with you, his handling is just something to be desired, really, because it's just pretty awful, if I'm going to be honest with you. It needs to improve. But right here, Sissoko, I don't know how he got through there, but luckily we managed to block the shot off with Hoban, and unluckily for us, they pick up the ball and they shoot, and then they get the rebound. I couldn't believe it. Once again, the parrying of George Long is just awful. He parried it straight into the path of the attacker, and you could argue that our defenders should have done a little bit better there, but come on, look at this. He has a shot. It's well saved, but then it really should have been a double save, or at least the defender making a better challenge there. I don't know, but they level up the game, And it was turning into a bit of deja vu, really, because the last time we went into extra time with Newcastle United in a cup game, we did lose it on penalties. But hopefully, we wouldn't suffer another defeat on penalties to Newcastle United in a cup game. I mean, I was just mortified when we lost the last one, because if we would have got to the final of the FA Cup and beaten Newcastle on penalties, we would have secured European football. But obviously it wasn't meant to be. Hopefully we can do it this year, and if we do, that would just be absolutely awesome. I just really hope that we do get into Europe this year. I think we've got a real chance of doing so, and if we do, that would just be fantastic. I really do want to get into the Champions League though. Not really so fond of the Europa League, because we'll get more funds and that'll improve the team. But we start things off here, and I was so nervous in this penalty shootout because I'm no good at penalties. I mean, I'm okay at it, but when I'm in penalty shootouts, it seems to lag sometimes. And it's not me making excuses, it honestly does lag. And it's very hard to get them in the green bar. As you saw there earlier in the game, we did score a penalty, yes. But in these penalty shootouts, it seems to lag a bit. I don't know if that's the game or if that's just... Well, it can't be my connection because it's offline. So I don't really understand. It's obviously just the game, or maybe my game is broken. I don't know. But nevertheless, we did actually miss a penalty there, and we almost missed this one with John Joe O'Toole, and you can see there it was in the yellow, so very close to Tim Krul saving that. But luckily for us, they did hit the post, and that gave us a good chance to get back into this penalty shootout and win it indeed. And we do score the next one there. I do believe that was with Hughes, and then the next one here, they had to score this, otherwise they'd be out, and they missed it. They hit the same post twice, and that does mean that we did beat Newcastle United. We got our revenge, and we went through in the Capital One Cup into the next round. That was the round of 3, I think it was, in the Capital One Cup. So that was a big surprise. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode of Career Mode. If you do want another episode of Career Mode up tomorrow, please be sure to smash the like button. If we can get over 40 likes, that would be much appreciated. But I'm going to have to leave it there, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time for another video. Thanks for watching.